Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? It's Jokes the Babe. You already know, man. Controversial conversation. Back at it. I, I don't know, man. I'm still working on it. I'm still looking for it. But we're going to find just the right one. But, anyways, man. So, when I came back, the first episode, I talked about where I had been. And in the second episode, I talked about where we need to go, right? And when it comes to the 20 ways that we need to move forward, I ran through them pretty quickly so we could establish what they are. But I did tell you I was going to go back over them, right? So we're going to break them down into sections of 5. We're going to make it easier, right? So these are going to be the 4 quarters. Yeah, y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? They be sliding them things and the little 4 quarters. We're going to keep them 4 quarters going. But anyway, this is the 4 quarter type situation. So this is the first quarter. All right. Let's talk about how we move forward as the left. Right. All right. So the first thing I talked about was true coalition building, right? From loose networks to organized power. So here's the key points. What is the problem? Many progressive coalitions lack structure, leading to duplication of efforts and inefficiency. So, what is the solution? We need to build structured coalitions with clear roles and responsibilities, departments. We assign areas like voter education, local advocacy, and policy research to specific organizations, right? Specific organizations need to just be specifically doing this, right? And we could do a coalition charter. So we define the goals and the roles and the accountability metrics for each member. So now everybody has a defined role. We know what the goals and the mission and the vision is of the organization and the coalition. And now we have a metric for us to keep meeting to know that we are progressing. And you need community outreach. Excuse me. So you have to embed voter education into schools, libraries, and community centers for early engagement. So we have to reach them at the schools. So the children, right? That's why we created the civics course so that we can teach children and we can teach adults about their government so they can understand the structure of it, so they can understand how to petition it, so they can understand how to protest it when they have grievances, so they can remain civically engaged whenever it is not an election season, whenever it's not the presidential election and everybody's crazy, or whenever it's not the midterms, or when it's not the election in the middle of those, because we have elections all the time. But regardless of that, you still need to remain civically engaged. So for point one, the coalition building, this right here is my call to action. Let's move beyond just showing up. We need to show out with a real game plan. So, what is one way your community could be part of this coalition? All right. So, the next thing I talked about was the mental penetration of misconceptions. In other words, we have to break the narrative. So, what is the challenge? The challenge is misconceptions about progressive ideals are deeply rooted in social and media narratives. So, what is the strategy? We have to use trusted voices. And I'm not talking about the people that are on your screen. I'm talking about the barbershop owner. I'm talking about the pastors. I'm talking about the teachers, the community leaders. We need to have them discussing progressive values. And we need to create localized storytelling campaigns that will humanize policies like healthcare reform or fair wages. And we need to hold community discussions in accessible spaces like churches or neighborhood events or parks or wherever we can get to. We have to meet them where they're at and we have to hold their attention so they understand the severity of what is at stake. So here is an example of execution. Imagine a short video series called Barbershop Progressives, similar to what the shop is for LeBron and them, but specifically about progressive ideals, where real people share real stories of how progressive policies are impacting their lives, right? So, this is my call to action. Who in your community could help reshape these conversations? Come on, y'all. Let's brainstorm some names for real. Because the next thing that I talked about was the rule. I swear I never feel like I'm saying that word right. But the rule. Now I'm really messed. Rural, I don't know. Anyways, community sustainability from struggles to solutions, right? So we need these two words. I love putting them together because it is such a threat. We need economic empowerment, y'all. Launch community driven projects like gardens and food co ops and worker owned businesses to strengthen local economies. So we have to highlight success stories from rural areas already benefiting from these initiatives, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We know that these things work because time and time again, whenever they are implemented, they work. So we just show people them working, and that is what we use as our evidence. We don't have to keep trying to persuade them. We can give them the numbers, right? We can keep giving them the numbers until they understand the numbers. But not just economic empowerment. We have to go deeper and we have to do political training. This one right here is so important to me because I feel like it gets lost in translation. We have to invest in leadership development for local activists and organizers to run for office. It is not about lifelong politicians. It is not about career politicians. It is not about you getting rich in office. It is not about you having 15 different terms so that you've been in there for 30 years and you have not done anything but be complicit and complacent. We have to invest in our own people, build them up because they already know what is going on. They already want to be better. They already know how to handle the issues. So we have to build these people up, right? And then we have to train them in messaging that resonates with their neighbors. And we have to tie progressive ideas to rural values. I said it again. I don't know. Leave me alone. Whatever. Anyways, so let's talk about cultural engagement with that, right? So one of my most favorite things when it comes to politics is that culture is so deeply woven into it, right? So let's talk about the way that music and art and storytelling can transform hearts and minds, right? So we have to fund progressive bluegrass festivals or local storytelling nights or open mic spoken word, you know, challenges or whatever it may be that allows us to infiltrate into the community, get the local artists out there, get the local people out to support them, get the local vendors out there so they can make a little bit of money and reinvest back in the community, and then have a little bit of a political theme or messaging in there, a little voter education, little voter education, a little civics, a little community mobilization or organization, have a very witty or funny host that can just easily weave in with a whole bunch of little, anecdotes or tidbits of information and stuff like that. Present a quick little brochure, like a graphic you make on Canva. Have that thing sitting at the door when they come in there, so they have something to leave with. A QR code that leads right back to the organization that is putting it on. Like, bam, you know what I'm saying? You can really infuse culture, art, and politics in a way that is entertaining, that is informative, and that makes people want to be active and inclusive. So we got to keep doing that. And this is my call to action when it comes to that. I want y'all to tag some rural community leader or creative who's already making moves. And let's just amplify their work. If you are out here in the community and you are an artist and you are doing incredible work, who are you? You need to be seen. You need to be heard. You need to be felt. And we are going to do our best to get you out there. So that is the call to action when it comes to that, because we are also going to infuse culture and art into politics. It is not just that boring, dry nonsense. We are going to go deeper and we are going to give you more because you deserve it. So, number 4 that I talked about was progressive populism as traditional values. So we got to reclaim the narrative, right? I said that, and I'm going to say it again. We have to reclaim the narrative. So let's reframe progressive policies. Fair wages, Universal childcare and paid leave are traditional values that ensure families thrive. You heard that, right? Traditional values. That's something all of us can get behind. Criminal justice reform isn't soft on crime. It is smart, it is effective, and it is fair. And that are ideals for the backbone of America. So we need to reframe the things that we are pushing as the American ideals that they are. We have to be data driven with the messaging. We have to cite examples where progressive policies worked, where they reduced recidivism in criminal justice, where higher wages improved local economies, where community gardens were able to provide nice, healthy, nutritious food for people that wouldn't normally get it. We have to be data driven with this, and we have to show from the screen to their pocket, from the screen to their eyes, and from the screen to their heart. That is how we do this. And we have to be consistent across platforms, right? We have to develop a unified narrative that aligns candidates and campaigns nationwide. No more, none of this fractured nonsense. We have to stand on what our people want, and we have to deliver on that. So if you are going to be running, then you need to be damn sure that what you say you are going to do is what you are fighting for all of the time you are in that office. And my call to action for this, I have a question. What is one traditional value that you think we should reclaim for the left? And I want y'all to drop it in the comments. All right. So we're reaching the end of the first quarter. So this is number 5. And this is about communication hubs. And this is about connecting the disconnected. All right. So we have to build the infrastructure. So that means creating local hubs, podcasts, radio shows, magazines that will directly address issues in underserved areas. Representation is everything. And if people feel like they are adequately being represented, then they will actively come out and engage. So we have to use these hubs to amplify local voices, provide actionable resources, and drive engagement. This is how we do it. We build this infrastructure that cannot be shaken. Build the foundation, build the fundamentals, put it together so that it is stronger together, right? So what would be the focus of this content? We need to speak to real struggles. Why is your grocery bill so high? Why can't you get a doctor's appointment? See, we have to link these problems to solutions. Affordable childcare, healthcare reform, price regulation, broadband expansion. Look, just imagine a call-in radio show where people get to vent about local issues and organizers respond with resources and solutions. Just think if you just called up and you was like, man, I'm so tired of the fact that blase is going on. And then you actually had somebody that was there that could say, hey, look, so what you're dealing with is this, and this is a local resource that you can actually access that can help you with that. So let me go ahead and send you this information. Bam, right? Like, what if we could actually solve things in real time? That is where we need to get to. We are so reactive. How do we get to moving forward, being proactive, right? So this is my call to action. I want y'all to tell us the biggest issue in your community right now. And let's start building solutions, right? Let's just start building solutions now. This isn't about building bridges. It's about crossing them together. And these ideas are not new. They're just waiting for us to bring them back to life. So let's get to work.